Turner, wife of Quentin Turner, and I want to share my testimony with everybody. Now, this version of my testimony is the unsugar-coated version of it. Let's say the raw version of it. A version that most people haven't heard. Everything that I'm about to say, my husband knows, he's known or whatever. So, just other people on the outside haven't known, but I'm willing to share it just so people know how much God has done for me in my life. So, I was born 1991. I'm going to tell you my birthday. I was born in 1991 this week. I grew up, well, first I stayed with my auntie, my Lizer. Then I stayed with my grandma for like most of my life. And then I stayed with my mom. But I grew up in like I guess like your average family. Not, well, I'm going to say average because, you know, it was a lack of a lot of stuff. But, you know, I made it through that. But I grew up being the oldest sisters on both sides, on my mom's side and my dad's side, or whatever. And the oldest out of a bunch. I feel like the oldest, I know they say like the middle child get kind of pushed to the side, but I feel like the oldest get pushed to the side as well, depending on like how many kids there is in the family. But kind of feel like that. The only person I was like ever really close with growing up, like family-wise, was my grandma. I don't feel like me and my mom had like a connection like that, or me and my dad had a connection like that. It was more so my grandma. I could talk to my grandma about any and everything, whenever, whatever. She didn't really care. I grew up, there was, I don't know how to say this. But there was some, I've been molested as a child. I don't want to go into details about that, but when I was younger, I was molested. And I feel like that had like a big part, like a big like impact on my life with certain stuff, and made certain stuff hard, put me in certain places and certain little holes and dark places, especially feeling like can't really like go to nobody and tell them or talk to them about it, or you're not really, you know, I don't know, you just feel like you can't talk about it or express it or let anyone know or in about it, and you try to move on with your life, but you're so young you really don't know what to do with it. Kind of feel like that affected me a lot. And but moving forward from that, kind of grew up being like I used to love getting in fights all the time. I can tell you that. I love getting in fights, altercation, didn't care if it were family members, friends, or somebody at school. I would get in trouble. Had to go to like this little rinky-dink Coco, no. I'm sorry. My fur baby making a mess. But I had to go to like this private school. Well, like it was a poor private school because it was like 8 people in the classroom. I went to that from like, I want to say I got kicked out of like public schools at a younger age because I was like stealing and stuff, getting in trouble, just acting out. So my mom put me in like this little private school that was just, like I said, they had like 8 people in the classroom, and I went there until I was like in 8th grade. And I went there until I was in 8th grade. I didn't go back to public schools until high school. But yeah, I would love getting in trouble, love getting in fights. In middle school, I was part of this group called like the Head Busters, cause we was always fighting and stuff, trying to fight, bust somebody's head open or whatever. And and just like doing that, being a mean girl or got to high school, I feel like in high school I calmed down a little bit. I didn't let so much bother me. Or I wasn't really bothered because I guess back then I was just like, I'm not about talking. You want to have beef with me, then say something and we can fight it out or whatever. That was like my motto, say something, get hit. And I don't know, now I think I kind of grew from that. Then, like, I feel like when I got to high school, it was just so, it was kind of depressing at first because it was like a whole new setting. Because, like I said, the little private school I was put in, I only had like at most 8 kids in the classroom each year. Like, it wasn't many people. So when I got to high school, it was like a big old, like, just a different environment, big group, big everything, and it was a lot to take in. I know that much. Coco, no, Coco, out your mouth, out your mouth. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry. And yeah, it was like a big thing. So it was a lot going on in high school, and I was just like, whoa, just crazy back and forth of like this and that, trying to see where I fit in at, like what to do, what not to do. I didn't really care about clothes or anything like that. I never been that type of person to care about name brand this, name brand that. Still don't to this day. Like, I'm clearance all the way to this day. But anyway, with that, high school came a lot. It came a lot of people. There's a lot of stuff said about me that wasn't true. Some stuff said that was true, but a lot of it was said was not true. And then at one point, I feel like I became like promiscuous. I started, I did not wait to marriage to have sex. I started having sex outside of marriage at a young age, not really knowing, not even really having a connection with a person that I was doing those things with. And it just put a toll, that in itself put another toll on me being like, being depressed. I also got depressed at one point in high school, where I had like this whole little episode where I was, I passed out and was like unconscious for like a week or two in the hospital, and they had no clue what was going on with me. They like just said I was depressed, and I like started like, I had medicine I was supposed to take, and I was supposed to be going to therapy. I went to my therapist like once or twice. In my head, I felt like the lady was crazy herself, so I never feel like I could open up to her. And I had medicines, I didn't take it. Now I also got like this, I became close with this girl in high school. Of course, everybody knows my best friend, if you don't, Martina or whatever. And like I had medicine that I didn't take. I used to flush down the toilet, and she'll like take my my bottles of meds and have them in her purse with candy or something in it, saying something crazy. But yeah, became depressed. That was like really down. Like I was just kind of mad and bitter with everybody, not really knowing why. And even then, because I felt like I grew up going to church, and but it was like also if I go spend the night at my aunt's house, she take me to her church. If I go spend the night at another aunt's house, she'll take me to her church. And I think they all were like Baptist churches or whatever. And it's like I grew up in like kind of in the church. I grew up in the church, but it's like I didn't stay in a church now. Just certain, everybody knows how certain churches are different. So yeah. So like I know like a lot in my life that I always used to talk to God, and I always used to pray. I always used to cry out, and I used to cry a lot, asking like why is this my life? Why I'm going through this, that. So then, for like dealing with depression as a teenager, it's like a lot of things that I did. Like I tried to kill myself on like 2 different occasions. I tried to like slit my wrist. And it was just going through like a lot of stuff. And then like I decided to move out of my grandma's house when I turned 18 and graduated high school. Which with that, it was like a lot because I kept having like a lot of family members and stuff saying I would graduate and this and that. But I did. I graduated in summer school, but I still graduated the year I was supposed to graduate, even though it was still summer school. So still, I was still happy with that. But I decided to move out. Had different boyfriends and stuff, and just still like unhappy with those people. Just, you know, trying to find happiness in the wrong places or whatever. And then, so growing up too, I also dated females as well as males. So I was what you call bisexual, what people call bisexual. I was what people call bisexual or whatever. So when I got older, I started dating this girl. I'd rather not say her name. But I started dating this girl like on a serious note more than like any of the other girls I ever talked to in my past. So I started dating her, and she was I was talking to her, and then I don't know, for some reason we ended up moving together. I don't know how that happened, but we ended up moving together. And then eventually we dated, and then we decided to like get quote unquote a union, marriage, whatever you want to call it. Same sex marriage, same sex union. We decided that and decided to like have a family together. So I think we had to drive all the way to like Washington DC to get married. So we drove all the way to Washington DC, got married or whatever. But also we was also planning on kids, so I had it where I got pregnant first, and then she got pregnant probably like 3 months. So our kids would have been like 3 months apart or whatever. And Quentin, I know he was not over there. I know you're not. But are you pausing it? You pause it. Or are you still going? Sorry, y'all. My husband was back there falling asleep behind the camera. You know my husband, you know he falls asleep doing anything. But anyways, we got married. But anyway, we was both pregnant at the same time, just 3 months apart. We were both pregnant with boys. And a lot of people, I told people different stories about how my son came along, but truth is, I was in a same-sex relationship, and we decided to have a family. So I got pregnant with my son, and she was pregnant with her son. And let me tell you this relationship was so miserable, and I don't even know why I let it go as far as I did, because I was miserable. It was constantly fighting, bickering, and just not right from the beginning, from the get-go. And like, so I prayed, and it's crazy, like y'all would be so amazed how much I prayed and not really know like God the way I know him now. But I prayed, and I was like, God, if this is not supposed to happen, show me a sign. And let me tell you, I got all the signs that I shouldn't have did it, but I still did it anyway. So yeah, got the union, both pregnant, just miserable out my life. So I had my son, like, while I was pregnant with my son, I worked at 3 jobs, and just so I could provide for him when he was born. And when I say by the end of the night, my feet were swollen and fat. Like, my feet were swollen and fat. I just, it was a lot. I worked hard. I worked my butt off to make sure I had everything that I needed to have for him when he came. So after I had my son, I had this guy named Kevin and this guy named Sammy come knock on my door with the Potter's House flyer, and they asked me if I died today where I go, and I couldn't do nothing but smile, and I was just like, oh, I think I go to heaven, and like they was asking me was I sure, and I was just like laughing and giggling because I just knew. I was really trying to hear her close the door because I knew like the life I was living, I wouldn't go to heaven. So closed the door, kind of pushed them off and closed the door or whatever. Took the flyer, paid it on mine, and so my life goes on, and then like I'm constantly fighting with my supposed to be wife, and I'm like, I don't want this for my son. And then it was like one day we were just having a conversation after I'm talking to my son, like, oh, just telling my son the regular, oh, you're so handsome, and this and that. And then she said something about how I know he gonna like girls. And that was just, I mean, I don't know, that was just kind of like a drawing straw. And another thing was like arguing with her all the time was taking too much energy from me and my son. So I just decided, I was like, no longer want to be part of this. I don't want to be dealing with this lifestyle. The Bible says the lifestyle is incorrect, it's not right, it's an abomination. So I was just ready to get away from it. So I got a job. I said, I applied, let me tell you this, I applied to work at Sam's so many times and never got a call back. So this time, after my son was born, I applied, and I finally get a call back, and they tell me, you know, I got the job or whatever, go for my job interview, and I get the job or whatever. And so I'm working, I'm like, you know, telling her I don't want to be with her anymore, basically. So then, like, at the job, I'm like, okay, Coco, no. At the job, I'm working, trying to, like, separate from her. And there's this guy named Sammy there, kept inviting me out to his church. And it, mind you, Sammy's the same guy that came to my door before, like, after I had my son. So he kept inviting me to church, and I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll go one Sunday. And then one Sunday, I just kind of like caved in, like, okay, keep asking me, so I'm gonna go. And went, and the first sermon there, like, I'm telling you, these people didn't know me, they didn't know my lifestyle. I don't even think Sammy knew my lifestyle or whatever. Not like that anyway. I don't think he knew. But I went, and it was like this amazing sermon. This pastor named Seth, it was an amazing sermon. It was talking about homosexuality and some other stuff that I was just going through, and like I couldn't do nothing but react to the altar calls. So I went and I got saved at the altar, and just, I don't know, it was a big like weight lifted off my shoulders. So after that, I kind of went home and just like I really like just called it off. So I made it to where like she left my apartment, and like I just wanted to start fresh. And at first I was willing to like go through the dirt and struggle with my son just to get away from that situation. Like I was like trying to transfer from the Sam's Club to a Walmart in Durham near my grandma's house, because I was going to move back to my grandma with my son for a little bit until I could get more stable with him or whatever. And I had got a call from the Walmart to transfer and everything, but the pastor, Self Norcross and Kelsey Norcross, they barely knew me, and they offered for me and my son to stay with them. And let me say this again, they barely knew me. So instead of me moving back to Durham like I planned on it, I just stayed with them or whatever, me and my son, and I worked. And then like this another girl in our church, well, the sister of a girl of the Turners, one of their sisters had like an apartment she wasn't using, and she told me and my son could stay there. We just had to pay like the utilities or whatever. So me and my son moved there. And like I feel like God moved in my life a lot, and he had did a lot just within those months or to a year or whatever. Those few months, God had did so much, changed so much in me, in my life. I was away from like a super toxic relationship, and I had this beautiful son that I love, I still love to death, and just got me away from that lifestyle that would have just sent me straight to hell if I died at any moment. So I was just really happy about that. And I found it crazy that the pastor that was there before Self Norcross got to that church had came to my door before, right after I had my son. So I just felt like it was God tugging at me, trying to get me away from that. cocoa. No, you have that down there. Down there. Down there. There you go. No. But yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. This fur baby is a little crazy. So yeah, felt like God was coming for me and wanted me to get away. So yeah, I got saved in that church, and I experienced so much goodness in that church and did a lot of things. Learned a lot too as well. I'm not gonna lie, to this day I still be working on my anger and stuff. But I feel like it's changed drastically. My attitude has changed, and I'm like a totally different person than what I used to be. Because I used to be, I don't know, I used to party all the time. I feel like, not so much like, I never was a drinker or smoker. Let me just put that out there. I did when I turned 21. I went to Las Vegas and I tried drinking just to try it, but it wasn't for me. Drinking and smoking never been for me. Like, I never like got into it. I'm happy I never did, because I mean, I feel like people who drink and smoke, me personally, are unhappy people. I feel like when people have to drink and smoke to have fun, then they're just missing a lot in their life, and they're missing a part of them. So I just feel like they, I don't know, that's another topic, but me personally, it's not for me, so I just don't do it. So that's like one thing I never had to worry about or kick off to the curb. So here, insert my my husband. No, we did not do it the way our church usually do, like marriages, but we had a daughter and we got married, and we rededicated our lives to God, and started living for God as a family. We went through like a lot of struggles. When I say like we got married, it was like we had basically nothing. I mean, if I'm honest, we had nothing, and like, but we made it through. We stayed faithful. We made it through, and we did what we had to do to get through, and then eventually we had like our third child, and so yeah, we had 3 kids, and we had our third child, and like from where we was when we got married until now, I feel like we have grown a lot in Christ. We've been through a lot as a married couple, and when I say we've been through a lot, we've been through a lot. Like, it's been crazy. It's been like storms of life. Y'all know that song, Storms of Life. It's been there, storms of life, but we've made it through, and just a lot of ups and downs. Even being saved, it was a lot of ups and downs. It was a lot of stuff we liked. It was a lot of stuff we didn't like. It was a lot of stuff we didn't agree with. It's just been a lot. But no matter what, we've made sure we stayed faithful to God through it all. And it's just been a journey. And I feel like we've grown so much as individuals, as a couple, as parents, as Christians. Me and him have grown. I know, like, God has did tremendous things in my life. Like, I can't even imagine where I would be if the pastor before Kevin, the pastor before self, didn't come knocking on my door and maybe planted a seed in my head, and then for me to get the job at Sam's Club that I always applied for and never got, and to have somebody there who came to my door steadily inviting me out to church like every other time we had a shift together. Because I feel like if I didn't have any of that, maybe I never would have went to that service that I needed to go to hear the word of God and to get saved, and just for God to have did so much moving in my life. It was just a blessing. And yeah, so a lot of people didn't know or hadn't known that I was in like a same-sex union or even dated girls. I don't think some people have known, but I was part of the LGBTQ whatever. I don't know if I might have missed some letters or whatever. So yeah, part of that, and I just feel like God delivered me from that, and I thank him for that, because I don't care what anybody says today. I don't care what they say, the millennium this or times change, this and that, but the Bible never changed and God says it's wrong. So I thank God for delivering me from that, because I could have died any day and I probably would have went straight to hell thinking like was going to heaven, because that's what the world wants you to believe. As long as you're a good person or do good things or being nice to others, that you're going to heaven, and that's not true. So I would have been sitting in hell wondering why, when the world has told me differently. But I thank God for coming in my life and just changing me, for me to be a great mom and wife, and just teaching me how to be. I mean, I'm still learning how to be a wife. I'm still learning how to be a good mom. So, like, it's a lot. And having God a part of all of that learning is, like, the best thing that could have ever happened to me. I don't care what nobody say. Because there was a lot of people I had to cut off. There was a lot of people I didn't want to hang around no more. Some people felt like, even family members felt like I was, oh, she acting funny, or she thinks she better than me or that. And that's not the case. It's just certain stuff you don't want to be around, or certain stuff I just don't want my kids to be around, because certain stuff I grew up around, and I separate my kids from that stuff. Certain stuff that I was exposed to, I separate my kids from that. I monitor everything my kids do. I monitor everybody's house they go over, because not everybody lives the same lifestyle as I do. So I take pride in monitoring and trying to watch what my kids watching and listen to as a mother, because I want my kids to grow up living for Christ, no matter how many turned heads or screwed up noses or anything else anybody get. So yeah, just want y'all to know that God just really done a lot. I mean, when I tell y'all I was like this little just mean little ball of hate, I had just had so much balled up on the inside of me. Like, Coco, you just grabbing everything. Why do you got daddy tie? No, ma'am. You have a whole toy down there. But yeah, I just no, Coco. Sit, Coco, sit. I just had like a I'm sorry, y'all. Had like a whole bunch of like stuff going on with me, and like I felt so heavy. I had so much bottled up. I had so much stuff I wanted to get off my chest with my mother. Had so much stuff I wanted to get off my chest with my father. Stuff I felt like they hadn't been in my life for, and just I had to talk with my mom, even though it was more so of a cry fest. I talked to my mom. My dad not so much, but I would like to say for both of them, they've been amazing grandparents. They both have been like really good grandparents to their grandkids. So like I really don't have like anything like really like bad to say. I just with me I just feel like a lot of stuff they could have been there for more or been there for me more, and they wasn't. But grandparent wise, they are awesome grandparents. They if I ask them for anything, they help me, and they do the best they can. So that's growth. I feel like that's growth for me and for them. So yeah, God has done like amazing things in my life. I have a beautiful family, a beautiful saved family, and that I love. They love me through everything, and we just live for God. And God has just did a lot. But that's basically my testimony, and I wanted to share with y'all, because a lot of people didn't. Some of that stuff, people are gonna be like, "What? That happened?" Yes, it happened. I've been through that. Part of my life. Homosexuality was part of my life. Molestation was part of my life. Just a lot. Being promiscuous was part of my life, and it was a lot that I gave to God, and I had to move past. And before I even forget this, the one part of my life I had to I got pregnant when I was like 19 years old, And I didn't feel like I was ready. So my sister, she was like, what, 15 when she had my nephew, 16. And I love kids to death, but back then I did not feel like I was ready. I didn't feel like the person I was pregnant by was ready to be a father. And I went and I had an abortion or whatever. And when I tell y'all that, like, it tore me to pieces. Like, I was broken. I know some people can do it, and some people do it multiple times. People can do it over and over again. But that one time for me was, like, so heartbreaking, and just, it took me up. It took me up on the inside, and I had to go, basically I went through it alone. Actually, I had this lady with me that I work with. I think her name was Ian, and she took me to get it done. And she took me to get it done. And let me tell you this: this woman, she cannot have kids. She loved kids, so she wanted me to have the baby so she could have it. But I didn't decide that because I didn't see myself, letting a child be out there that I didn't, that knew me, or letting somebody else love it. I don't know what I thought. I didn't know what to think, so I just went along with the abortion, and she supported me, even though she wanted me to have that baby so bad, and for her to keep, she supported me, she wanted me, and she helped me through. But she was like helpful, so helpful, even with that. And I thank God for forgiving me for my sins. Like, if you don't let God, let go and let God, especially when it comes to sin, the devil will try to take you down. Because I beat myself up for that for years. When I got saved when I was like 22. So yeah, I beat myself up for that for years. And now I've repented of it, and I just gave it to God. I know it's wrong, and I just, don't want to go through it anymore or whatever. But so it's just hard. It was hard, but God got me through. And now, like, I've forgiven myself for it as well. So that's also been helpful, because I feel like I was holding on to that was putting like a little bit of bitterness in my heart as well. So yeah, when I let it go and let God, I was so much better off. But yeah, I just wanted to share that, my testimony with you guys, the raw version of it, because a lot of people haven't heard half that stuff when it comes to like me being in the same sex marriage and stuff, and my son, bio dad and stuff like that. So yeah, just wanted to share that and just let y'all know God has done a lot, because I came from the bottom, and I'm still trying to make my way up, but I'm way better than where I was, and I just can't thank nobody but Jesus Christ, because he's the one that helped me with a lot and changed my life. But yep, I'm Ebony Turner, and I just wanted to share my testimony with you.